Hey everybody, this is Seth from Coming Out Tarot. I want to do a quick recap of the Coming Out Tarot forecast for last week. There was a lot going on last week, and it was actually a little heavier than I recognized when I looked back and saw what all of those cards were. And in fact, there was a lot of duplicate cards that came up during the week, so there was messages that were forcing themselves through, like the Death card, the Ace of Swords, and the Star in particular kept coming up twice. And what's interesting about Death and the Sword, the Ace of Swords, is that Death came up at the beginning of the week, Monday, then the Ace of Swords. Then we had some more sword stuff going on with court cards. And then on Thursday, we got back to the Ace of Swords. And on Friday, we got back to Death. So it was like a complete reversal from the beginning of the week back. So there was a lot of back and forth this week, not just with those cards, those obstacles, but with how we were approaching the obstacles. So what you may have noticed is that you were ready for change. You were really ready for change, and you were ready to try, and you're ready to experiment. This is different than failing. This is trying and trying and trying. It's similar to when people say, oh, we should fail early and fail often. It's the same concept, except it's a different kind of experience to experiment. And I think experimentation happened. The challenge is that things didn't really work out like you wanted, and you might have gotten a little hurt. You might have got up in your feels a little bit, and felt like you just had to get the out and move on, and you got a little defensive, and things were challenging, and you might have gotten a little snarky. So there may be some people you need to follow up with to say, hey, sorry I was acting that way. Things were a little rough. I was trying some things new, and it was a lot for me. And if if you did have that kind of week, I would encourage you to follow up with some people and let them know how you were feeling and what was going on. The other thing related to mindfulness is more than likely, if you didn't do this, I expect that you can find this in how you brought mindfulness to your week. You're probably focused on what your truest self was, and we talked a lot about dreamy dream world and truest self last week. So if you were focused on your truest self and trying to see what your calling was, you may have found yourself paused and just not doing everything you wanted to do. But at least, at the very least, you would have been able to recognize what you had done well through the week. So through mindfulness, you probably recognized what you'd done well. What you may not have seen or acknowledged were the things that you were struggling to get through. So kudos for recognizing what you did well. Now take a moment and recognize what may have been the challenges and how might you have interacted with people in a way that was just a little more positive than what may have actually happened last week. I hope this is helpful. If it is, don't forget to subscribe or follow so we can keep track of each other. And if it is helpful, don't forget to hit that like or thumbs up so that I know that the content is useful. If you're interested in working with me, you can find out more about me and how to get a reading with me over at ComingOutTarot.com. I have a new About page. I hope you go check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks, everybody. See ya.